Hello, this is a support video for week 6 of the C# coding competition challenges, and it's a walkthrough of the password complexity challenge, so possibly one of the hardest ones that we've released so far, so please do make sure that you attempt the challenges before you watch these videos. So this builds on the skills that we've been building up with regular expressions, so that we need to make a function and it gives us a score telling us how secure a password is. So let's look at the test data first and what we've got to start with. So we have a function, it returns an integer, it's passed one parameter, which is a string, and then if that password contains some common phrases like 123 or QWERTY or secret or password or something like that, then it doesn't matter how secure the rest of the password is or how many other characters it's got, it instantly returns 0. Those special, not really special, those poor choices of password strings are case insensitive. So it doesn't matter if you use capital letters or a combination of lowercase, it should still return 0. If it doesn't contain an empty string and it doesn't contain any of these, then you get 1 point for each of these. So a point for a lowercase letter, a point for a capital letter, a point for a number, a point for a non-numerical or alphabetical character. And then we get some points for the length. So if it's more than 5 characters, you get a point. You get 2 points for length if it's more than 6 characters, or 6 or more characters, I should say. So how on earth do we do this? Well, you've got the structure here. First of all, let's start with regular expressions. So let's say regex.match. We need to pass in what we're testing. We've got a parameter called input, and then we'll test with a regular expression. So if we want to see, let's go for the first case, just a lowercase letter. That's going to be A to Z, and that's a character class, so you use your square brackets here. And then if regex.match, let's put that in an if statement, is successful, then we can increase score by 1. So hopefully we could just do this a number of times. So we can say if we found a capital letter instead, and then if we have a number, and if we have something that is not any of the following character classes, so it's not a capital, it's not a lowercase, and it's not a number, then it's anything else like an exclamation mark, the score increases. So if we run it now, hopefully we won't get any runtime errors, but we are going to have some logic errors. Let's have a look and see. Oh dear. So password should contain 0, whereas at the moment it contains 1 because it's only lowercase. So we need to filter out all the common cases. So let's have a look. regex.match. This time, still match the input, but we want to check for any instance of all of these. So let's grab all of these. Where's it gone? There we go. So it's going to search for hello, and then it's going to search for hello or password, or test, or 123, or QWERTY, or secret. And we need to make sure that it's case insensitive. So I'll leave that as a challenge for you to do. I won't give you the full answer today. If regex.match.success, then we should return 0 straight away. So that will break out of the function and it won't continue running this. So that's fine. And I suppose we could check and see if it's just nothing. So we can't just have matches nothing because, well, everything would just match nothing. We have to say something like input is equal to an empty string or regex.match. So we could do it that way, or we could do it as separate if statements that both return 0. That would be fine. The only thing I haven't done, I think, is the length requirements. So lots of if statements. Yeah, here we go. And to make sure it's case insensitive. So to check and see For the length requirements, I do this with a for loop. You could do like 5 different if statements, but I think it's a more efficient way of doing this. So if it's at least 5 characters or up to 10 characters, let's use a loop. So for length is 5, that's the first length we'll check. Length is going to be less than 10, that's the last length that we'll check. Length plus plus, it increases each time. And then if, okay, so what are we checking? We're checking the input length. If that is greater than or equal to the value of length, that's the value we're using in our loop, then we can increase score by 1. Okay, so I don't think it'll work. I still haven't done case insensitive. Just search for how to do that. You can use regex. You can make it case insensitive with some regex options. I'll let you search for that. Oh, it doesn't know what length is because I haven't told it that it's an integer. And then we'll just get an error for it being case insensitive, I think. So hopefully that's enough to get you started in the right direction and shows you the power of regular expressions. You could do this without regular expressions, but it would be a bit of a nightmare iterating through, looping through each character in the password to check and see all the complexity requirements.